I overthink myself and I get really nervous.
You are destined for even greater things. You said you've been through trauma, you've been anxious, you've been depressed. Who is Soozana if she's not doing any of this? What does she do? Or where does she go to have a bit of breather? A question about what made you take this photo and then I'm going to analyze your photography.
Okay.
இல்லைனா ஒரு விஷனரியா சொல்கிறேன் அதையும் விட்டுருங்க ஒரு சாதாரண ஒரு மனுஷனா சொல்கிறேன் சாதாரண ஒரு மனுஷனா சொல்கிறேன். So a brand new episode, a brand new series, something fresh in the house of Singaraja, and we are waiting for someone very, very special. And she's very special to me, and she's very special to our entire community. We're waiting to welcome her in. So let's go. Soozana, finally good to see you and welcome to the House of Singaraja once again.
Thank you.
I've been meaning to do something like this for a very long time, create something special with special people from our community who has contributed in many ways. The reason why I chose you, you're a woman with so many attributes, you come with so much talent, and I don't know how you do this. What I want to get out of this interview is I want people to know who you are. And what goes in this small, chinna mandaikulla,
is it that small?
It's not, which is not exactly. But in the space la enna ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு என்ன வயடா இருக்கு அப்படின்றது I want to explore, and I thought it would be good for our people to also understand who is Soozana. According to me, she's a photographer, she's a scientist, she's a visionary. She's an artist because I know you as an artist. First, like, 2009, 10, when I knew you, I knew you as an artist. And then now you also teach. You do workshops all over the world. Like, so who is this Soozana Pvan?
Oh gosh, big question. I think to answer that question, I've been in the photography wedding industry for the last 12 to 13 years. So that's been like a very vital part of my life. I think most people know me in this industry as a photographer, as a wedding photographer. But also people have acknowledged me as a scientist because I have also continued your path to do science as my, a passion and something that I've always wanted to do. So right now, people know me as a photographer as well as a scientist, but there are many sides to me, many crazy little sides to me that no one knows about. But let's just keep it to this for now.
Alright. I think everyone would probably understand a gist of what you actually do, but there's more to it.
Right.
Can we put it that way?
Yes, correct.
Okay. But how do you even manage? For example, on the weekends, majority of the time you're shooting and you're working full time in Oxford. So where do you find time? But from the sources that I know and from the customers I meet, you deliver things on time, right? I know people strive to be disciplined, people strive to be organized, people strive to be excel at something, right? But how do you do this day in, day out? Because I know it's not easy at all.
Oh God, okay. I kind of think it's something now that I am very used to. My body is very used to doing this. It's like driving. So I don't really think too hard about this anymore. It's something that I'm wired to do. But saying that, I actually wake up with the mindset of knowing that this is what I'm going to achieve in a day. And I like to compartmentalize them in a way that I will use certain time to finish certain things. So my brain works in a very map kind of a way. So for example, let's say I go into work and instead of going to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, I go to work around 6, 7. And I use the first 2 hours to edit, which is, the work that I have hanging over my shoulder. So I'm editing. And then I go, okay, since I'm editing, I'm going to quickly do a post in the morning. So I quickly get a post ready. I post it on my gram. And then I go, oh, it's 9 o'clock now. I shut down photography. I go into the lab. I start doing my lab work. I have my meetings and I have my, experiments to continue. Then I go, okay, I have a break. Instead of just chilling on my break, I would go and edit something, or I would come and think about what I'm going to do next. Again, I go back to my science, then I come back to my photography. And whilst everyone leaves the office at 5, I leave at like 7, 8 o'clock.
So you sit back and you...
Exactly. I sit back and I try and finish like at least culling or at least some kind of wedding event. And then I go gym, and then I come home, and then I go to sleep, and then my life starts again. So I'm very much like robotic when it comes to work.
That's exactly my point. I mean, like, does it not feel like a routine that you're doing where you're not allowing yourself to rest? The reason why I'm emphasizing on this question is for 2 reasons. One, you're mentally working, and 2, you're also physically working as well.
Yeah.
Because doing weddings is not easy, and it's physically very demanding. At the same time, you've got to be mentally clear to do the kind of photos that you captured. Like, I mean, like, let's come back to that later. So very inhumane to do this with so much of love, because without loving something, you cannot do this at all. Like, you know, you'll be physically exhausted and mentally exhausted too.
Yeah, I think there's a part of me that doesn't find anything exhausting. I could be working. I could be on my phone to the people that I love and care about. I could be doing the next thing. I could be moving on and doing work again. But it doesn't bother me. I'm not thinking about it so much. It doesn't happen like, oh, I've got to do this. Dun, dun, dun. The feeling isn't there like that. The feeling is more like it flows for me, like a river.
Because on top of this, you also travel as well.
Yes.
Right? But anyways, I think we should move on from this question. Otherwise, the entire conversation.
I mean, yeah, we could speak an hour on how I organize things.
But it's really mesmerizing to see someone who is as well as disciplined as you are.
Thank you.
Of what
You're just being kind.
What exactly you do at Oxford Books? You can just maybe just like a few phrases on what you do in your research at Oxford, please.
Okay,
Please do the honors.
I mean, I will start off with the first summary of what I do at Oxford Books. To kind of like summarize, I work with breast cancer. So It's cancer research. I did my PhD with ovarian cancer, then I moved on to colorectal cancer, then I did pancreatic, and then now I'm doing breast cancer.
This is some serious stuff that you're doing.
So this is my 7th postdoc. Around 7th postdoc, which means...
What does that mean? Yeah.
So a postdoc is basically you can continue doing research. You're not working for a company, but you continue with research at an academic. It's like having 7 different jobs, but 7 different contracts, 7 different types of like research that I'm doing. Some of them are continuous research. Some of them are new research. 3 months long, 6 months long. Some of them can be 2 years long. It depends on how much funding you get, which we don't really get much of. So I'm on my 7th one now. And
this is some serious stuff that you're doing. I didn't even know this.
I mean, it's not something that I just randomly speak about. But saying that, currently working on breast cancer, we're looking at something called extracellular vesicles. These are basically, for example, if this is a cell, these cells produce tiny, tiny little vesicles, like little cargos.
Okay.
Tiny cargos. And these cargos travel to other cells and, they dump the information. They are normally used for cell communication, for cell homeostasis, which is basically just maintenance of like cells together. It's like having a friend. Like I come and say good things to you, you go and say good things to the other person. If I'm a good person, right? So then in cancer cells, it's the same information, but negative information. So these cargos go and carry and kind of like dump negative information, and they make the other cells cancerous. So now we are studying what these cargos contain, how they carry this, how they take it to the other cell, how can we block this, and what is the genetic information behind this?
This is exactly my question. Like, I don't even know how you do this. I mean, like very, very small, precise information, precise things that you're doing there. And then cut, and then you come into a complete, like a zombie field, because like wedding is a battlefield, right?
Absolutely.
There's millions of wires that's running in your head, and you're doing what you're doing at the best. So please.
No, thank you. I mean, you really have to know when to switch on and switch off, and where to be like. It's like, you come home from work, you're not going to put that stress on your family. Switch off, You go to work, you switch off, you do your work. Like it's literally learning to wire yourself, discipline yourself, and to prioritize whatever you can in the right time.
So it's about knowing when to switch on and off. So now your body is functioning.
Correct.
Your body is functioning.
Yeah, it's so used to this lifestyle that it's not something that I think about. It just happens very naturally for me. So when people ask me, how do you do it? I genuinely cannot answer it as well as I want to nowadays, because it's like,
it's too much.
It's just become so merged, like meshed up, that I can't even untangle it and tell you, okay, this is this. When I come out of science and I come into the wedding part, I get very excited. I get it's adrenaline for me. Like I get super excited. Like it's a complete different world.
So the contrasting diagrams are helping you to be who you are and how you want to explore and how you want to dance in that specific field that you're in.
Absolutely. And I think you correctly mentioned that my work has, kind of like grown over the years and it's become different today. And I think that comes first with experience, but also with having the ability to access right-minded people around you. As you know, that I do a lot of workshops with Divine Method, and I think just being in that workshop itself, I learned so much from him as a person. And I don't just...
I mean, he's another phenomenon that we should...
That's a complete different conversation for another day, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just want to bring it up to say, like, just attending the workshop, even as a teacher...
Yeah.
I learned from that.
You grasp a lot of
I
information.
grasped from that. I mean, you know me for so long. Lighting has always been something that I've struggled a little bit with, especially artificial light.
No, I don't think we were struggling. It was being with Shivana has like probably like, you, as you rightly said, like, you, although you're teaching alongside him, you're also taking a lot of information from, because he's a lighting master.
Absolutely. He's a phenomenon when it comes to light.
Color, light, and creativity, I think, is an exploration. It's a journey. And you've now learned how to go on that.
And so at these workshops, I take bits. I like learning these little bits. And then I now apply it to my work. And that has changed the dynamic of how I shoot
it's
today.
Reflecting, honestly. It's reflecting in your work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think as a photographer or as an artist, you have to keep learning. Because if you kind of tell yourself, this is who I am, I'm done, then you're not really like evolving as a person. And for me, I'm never satisfied with myself. So I go, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next?
Do you see this massive change in you, like when you compare yourself, like, let's say even 5 years ago or like, 6 years ago?
100%. I mean, I can see how I am moving as a person. I think it doesn't just happen as a creative. It happens from within. I think the moment you also dynamically change as a person, your art reflects. I think your art is a reflection of you. Like, and when you are growing deeply inside of you, I think your art can also grow with you.
Amazing. Yeah.
I think it's a root that I'm pulling with me as I'm growing. And it's just been a wonderful journey.
I'm so happy. And I can proudly say that I get to be in this journey with you, like, in a small little way. Right.
No, I appreciate you. Like, you've been in my journey, so I really appreciate you. Thank you.
So, since you touched a little bit on the workshop side, let's talk very briefly on that. Because when I spoke to Shivana, he was telling me that they knew on the Dutch workshop on that, because when you share information, when you share knowledge, you're also gaining knowledge, like, indirectly, subconsciously. So how is that journey been? And you've been teaching alongside Shivana for the past couple of years. And how does it feel to be a teacher?
That's a big one, because I have never done this. I mean, I'm going to put like Siva for the side for a little bit, because he is a phenomenal teacher. He's a great speaker, and let's put him aside because
that's not even a question.
You can have that conversation another time. But me as a teacher, I'm not a good speaker. I stutter a lot, and I overthink myself, and I get really nervous and I get really anxious. I'm an anxious person. but nobody knows that.
எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் தெரியும், but வந்து see again, so this is the point of this conversation, because people think, oh, Suzy is such a confident girl, like, you know, I want to break this, like, you know, I want to break people's perception of what they think of another person, and that is one of the main reasons I want to have this conversation that
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not as confident as I look. I'm actually a very self-doubting person, and so teaching was a big deal for me, because especially teaching color, because color is such a nuanced topic. It's very perception based. Like, you can look at one color and be like, that looks like a green, and I could look at it and be like, no, it's a little bit more teal. And it's so nuanced that it's like telling someone this is how I see it can become such a complex thing. But, you know, when you're standing next to someone who is phenomenal at teaching, you kind of want to stand up stronger and be like, I can do this too. You know, shouldn't let this person down, and shouldn't look bad, right? So I had to pick up my socks really quickly and be like, you got to do this properly.
When you said that you're someone who always self-doubt by yourself, right? That's a major sign of someone who's an artist. Because when you speak to any artist, for example, when you speak to Mani Ratnam, or when you hear A.R. Rahman speak, or when you see Kamal Haasan speak, right? They've been in the industry and they've been OGs. And if you go speak to them now, they feel like they never look at their previous work, because they always strive to be like, you know, to be better than, like, you know, what they've done, right? And that's a sign of an artist, Suzy. So that's why you're self-doubting yourself. That means you are destined for even greater things.
God, I appreciate that. No, these are big words. Honestly, it means a lot.
I mean, because that's what artists do. Like, they're never happy with, like, you know, what they've created. You're not only, like, you know, doing proud to your family and yourself. You're also, like, you know, putting us on a pedestal, putting us on a map, as a community, as one, right? So which is great.
Thank you. I mean, God, that's, again, like I said, big words. So I really, really appreciate it. I mean, I think there is still so much doubt in my work. Like, I could do something really nice yesterday, and I'll look at it today, and I'd be like, oh my God, why did I do it? Like, I am never satisfied. But I don't say it out loud too much, because if I do it, I'm going to become negative. And I don't want to be negative. I'm trying my best to become a lot more positive with who I am, because it's very easy to become negative.
Correct.
And I have been in those spaces, and I've been in traumatic situations, and that has especially taken a toll on, you know, how it's been for me to grow out of it, to become less anxious. I'm starting to learn to be a lot more confident again. It feels like I'm starting to walk again, right? So going through, like, those phases, and then looking at my work and then trying to be negative, I don't want to bring that to that part of my life, because it's the place where I'm most happy. So yes, I'm very critical of my work, but I'm not too critical of it. I walk away from it, and then I continue to grow from it. That's it.
Yeah, I understand.
You know?
You said you've been through trauma, you've been anxious, you've been depressed. At difficult times, does that help you to create art better?
Good question. I definitely have a bone inside of me when something bad happens or something negative happens around me, especially with me. I like to rise above it, and I like to create, to release anything that's kind of like stuck in my body. I'm a very positive person. Like, I you know, I've gone through many things, so it's not like anything can move me. Nothing can move me, unfortunately. Like,
and you're very independent as well, right? You've been living in Oxford, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think art comes from places of deep intent, and if the intent is pain, it will come out in that way. If the intent is joy, then it will come out in that way. I romanticize about the world a lot. I romanticize light. I romanticize, you know, when I'm sitting in my office in the lab, and then the light hits my face, I'm like, you know, I like life.
You observe light.
Right. Like, there is so many good things in this world. I do not want to sit on anything negative. Yeah, there's no point.
So, எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு you're only free during December time. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு.
Yes.
Right?
I think so.
So, who is Soozana if she's not doing any of this? What does she do? Or where does she go to have a bit of breather?
Okay, good point. I think I do still have my life even in the busy times. I like going to the gym. It's my happy place. It's somewhere I like to grow physically. I know it helps me be a better photographer, but it's also a place of self-growth.
Discipline as well.
Discipline, exactly. So I do have that in bits and bobs throughout the year. I like watching films.
Yes.
I love films. Like when I'm editing, I'll just put a film in the background. I don't even have to watch it. I will listen to the film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would have seen every film in the world and I could hear it. Like it's not a problem. I like traveling. I like going on holidays. I like seeing places because if I don't do that, I feel uninspired. Like it's something that I feel like I have to do. It's a deep desire and need inside of me that I love traveling.
So you even recently traveled with your parents and your family.
Right.
Looks like you had a fantastic time.
I mean, I went for a holiday and then something amazing happened and then I tied up my hair and I squat and I started shooting. And my family was like, like, நீ ஹாலிடேக்கு வந்தியா இல்ல ஷூட்டுக்கு வந்தியா? But you know, they watched me from a distance because they could see how happy I was and they took some BTS for me and they can see what makes me happy and photography makes me happy, like, and you know, when I see colors, I get like these impulses in my head. I go ding ding ding.
You get high seeing colors.
I get like an adrenaline rush when I see colors that I like, or when I see colors that happen. It's like a heat map. My eyes are like a heat map. Like I don't see shapes, people. I see colors
and light.
That's it. So yeah.
Amazing. So Suzy, எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு, like, I think I can probably do another 1 hour on just these set of images that kind of inspired me as well a lot. But I just want to talk to you because you've done so many weddings, and I don't want to talk about every wedding, but I want to talk about just like few images that kind of like, you know, stuck my mind.
Sure.
And I want to ask you a question about what made you take this photo, and I want to see, and then I'm going to analyze your photography.
Okay.
Like how it got conveyed to me.
I'd love to hear that actually.
First நான் சொல்லலாம், அப்ப நீங்க சொல்லுங்க.
நீங்களே சொல்லுங்க.
First நான் சொல்றேன். Okay.
Sure.
This photograph. This particular photograph.
Yeah.
Which is in the cave, right? எனக்கு என்னன்னா, like, சரி, ஓகே, நம்ம வந்து ஒரு ஃபோட்டோகிராஃபரா சொல்றேன். I mean ஒரு ஆர்டிஸ்டா சொல்றேன். இல்லனா ஒரு விஷனரியா சொல்றேன். அதையும் விட்டுருங்க, ஒரு சாதாரண ஒரு மனுஷனா சொல்றேன். ஒரு கேவ் இருக்கு. You walk inside and then you see these two flames burning and then you get excited, hey, செம்மையா இருக்கு, whatever, right? And I don't know under what lighting condition that you shot this, but it feels like because you get a very subtle gradient on the guy. So I'm thinking it's probably like evening light because it's very soft. Side lit பண்ண மாதிரி இருக்கு. So I'm thinking there's an open space there, right? And you're casting you're trying to get light from the flames to Anjana's face.
Yeah.
But that is not my point. My point is, how on earth did you have an idea of placing the bride and the groom in the position that they are in? I mean, like, see, நம்ம இப்படி பாக்குறோம், ஒரு கொகை இருக்கு, அந்த கொகையில வந்து 2 லைட்ஸ் வருது. சரி, அந்த லைட் பக்கத்துல வந்து நில்லுங்க, சக் வாங்க போலாம். Did you have a mindset or எவ்வளவு கிளியரா இருந்திருந்தா இந்த 2 couples இந்த 2 characters வந்து, how did you even make them, like, where did you get the vision of, like, you know, making them sit down and நீங்க லைட்டா சாஞ்சிருங்க படுத்துருங்க மாதிரி? How did you even get that?
I think it comes from the fact that honestly, I don't think too much about it. When people ask me questions like, how do you do this? But really, I go in there and I just feel the place. I feel the place and it tells me a story. And it's not just about the story of the place, but it's also the story about who Anjana is and who Ram is. They have such godly names, right? Ram. And then Anjana, from the person that I know, Anjana is she's a very ladylike person. And for me, that stuck in my heart and in my eyes before I even got here.
Gotcha.
I have been shooting her like that from the beginning of the day. So coming to the climax of the evening, where she gets to be with her Ram, I didn't want it to be too soppy. I didn't want it to be like tacky. I wanted it to show who Anchana was next to Ram, because Ram is the type of person who will watch over Anchana and take care of her without needing to press that space. And Anchana is very independent, and she doesn't need that help. Yeah, she doesn't need, like, even when we were climbing mountains, like rocks to take pictures, like Ram was like, she was like, no, I can do this myself. And I love that about her, because he understood that. She knows who she is. And they both work so beautifully well together, but in their own little spaces. And for me, this kind of came in that way.
So subconsciously, as you are looking at the space, so subconsciously, all of these things are running in your head.
Right.
And you want to portray that couple's personality into an image.
Absolutely. But I can't just say I am, this is novel. This is Ravanan. This is Maniratnam. This is me watching films for years and understanding guna, understanding, films that I have seen, music that I feel. When I walked into this, I had music running in my head. I had a sense of belonging. Like, this is Sri Lanka, this is a cave, and the light is there. And, Anchana really wanted to do a shoot here. Like, the cave was such an important part to her. And when it was important to her, it became automatically very important to me, right? So I was like, this has to be the climax of the entire day.
Wow.
And I wanted to milk it, and there it was.
That's how it appealed. Like, for me, like, more than the photograph, like, I was looking at from the artist's view, how evlo Soozana mindset clear arundha, she would be able to capture a photo like this, because I know, as you rightly said, end of the day, you're tired as well, your body is tired, I'm sure, because it's a massive space, you'd have done like a lot of walking, maybe 20,000 steps a day, that specific day, whatever, right?
Yes.
And so good to see someone that whose mind is like, is wired in such a way, like, like it has so much idiopathical to it, but at the same time, that idiopathical is nothing to you, because your mind is always clear.
Correct.
Like, you're always finding a way to, like, come out of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very evident in this photo for me. Moving on.
Yeah.
I think in the series, but
I mean, I could tell you a lot more about it, but
right? Like, when I saw this particular photo, I know it's not part of the wedding scene, but I do know this is very special to them.
Kandalama,
Kandalama in Sri Lanka, right? But the way this, while I was swiping up, it took me some time to realize this was an elephant.
Right.
Why did you want to post this particular photo?
I mean, posting it particularly was very important to tell the story. This was actually taken by my drone assistant on the day, and he was phenomenal at kind of like making sure. When I briefed him, I said, listen, I want to tell a good story. This is very personal to me because it's in Sri Lanka. I've never done a wedding here. And so I want to capture the essence of this place. And so when I told him, he was able to kind of like navigate, and we were very lucky to have an elephant swimming in the middle of the water, washing itself, cooling down. And I wanted it there because it tells the story. Like, we're in Sri Lanka. And if you look at that, it must tell the life of Sri Lanka, right? So I genuinely wanted that there.
This is another particular photo which kind of like, maybe it's a chumma or photo, but this photo is very, very, again, a beautiful moment for that particular couple.
Yeah.
Because I love how you're also, because they chose this location for a specific reason. And I feel like that you've made that possible by the way you photograph the images. Why did you wanted to focus on the monkeys? I love this photo. I don't know why.
Because, you know what? It also, while the monkeys were there, and we were very lucky, they were dangling on the trees and they were doing their thing, and they came at the back, and Anchana was like, oh my God, look at the monkeys behind us. So I jumped up and I saw it, and I thought, I put them in focus, because quite truly, they're both, like Ram and Anchana, are quite cheeky people in real life. Like they have their like very, very modest, serious like being, but they're also very cheeky. Like we found out, especially at the reception. But like, it kind of for me was a reflection of them in some way. Like you can be this and you can also be that. Like you don't have to be one thing in life,
Amazing. I think I feel jealous in one way, because I won't have a destination wedding as well, For every single effort that the couple has put in, you've done them good, and like I think for years to come, people will have to take a lot of guts to beat this set of images, is what I feel.
I appreciate that. It's honestly big words. I don't even see that.
When I studied film, the hardest thing to do in photography is to frame on a wide lens. If you know how to frame on a 25mm or a 35mm or a 18mm,
yes,
then you're doing something very good. Because எல்லாரும் என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ஒரு 85 ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எடுத்தோனே 85 இல்ல 71 போட்டு டமால் டிமால்னு போர்ட்ரேட் எடுத்தோனா ஃபோட்டோகிராஃபர் அப்படின்றாங்க, right? But most of the images that we're looking at here on the set of images that you've posted, right? It's all on, I'm sure it's all on like 24mm or 35mm.
We had a mix of 35, 50. My second shooter was shooting on 24 here and there. So, I also had a phenomenal second shooter on the day, Jishan, and like he had his perspective. His perspective is very storytelling. My perspective is very storytelling and aesthetic. So when we combined ours together, like it came out so well.
That's the images
and I think not just here, but coming back from here and doing a wedding here, my perspective changed.
Amazing.
And I'm starting to see things a lot more differently. I feel like as much as you think this has been something interesting for you, it's changed the way I shoot now.
Amazing. So finally, I just want to finish this with one question. Being successful is easy, but doing it consistently through the years and staying at the top is very hard. In this day and age, people tend to talk to your success, then they talk to you, right?
Yeah.
How do you segregate those people away from you?
I think throughout my journey, like it's something that will just naturally become filtered. I don't create situations for it to happen, but situations happen and slowly people disassociate from me. And for me, that's fine because I rather it happen organically than me forcefully pushing something away. And I think when you're truly authentic to yourself and the people around you, you know who will stay in your circle. And I have a beautiful circle. I'm abundant and I have beautiful friends and I have beautiful family and I have a beautiful, like, close network system and I'm happy there. So I don't worry about the external stuff.
Soozana, thank you so much for doing this for me. You have a busy schedule, but thank you once again.
No, thank you for having me here. Like, Singaraja, I'm so excited and I can't wait to see everything.